Now, where were we? It is Nindwood Transport, and we are trying to get ourselves to be the capital city here in Nindwood. It's going to be a challenge, but we have a little gold mine over here. It's not a gold mine, it's a coal mine, but it's turned into a bit of a gold mine for us, as we have 6 different coal mines all donating coal to this particular place. Let's start the time running here again. And we have a nicely oiled little system here. We still have a truckload of coal, or a few truckloads of coal, that we're trying to transport the whole way to the power station, which is down here. I think we're going to need some more. Yeah, we're going to need plenty more options for what we're going to do with our coal in due course. This one is ticking along nicely. We have some more people. We're going to need more trains. Ultimately, this network just has too many trains, not enough trains on it for the level of coal that we want delivered. Okay, so we've added a couple more trains to that network. We might need an extra station or two as well. And I just noticed a little slowing down point here. If we put in an extra there, if we just do that, it means that the trains will start to leave the station as soon as the train has cleared this point, rather than clearing this point. So it might just speed up the process a little bit. Okay, we're going to add in a couple of extra stations as well, because I think we need 2 more stations just to speed things along. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same kind of a setup. We're going to put it all in like that, so that people can pick and choose where they would like to go. All of the trains still on the same. No, not that one. We want to put in this type of. Which means that trains can now go in and join these 3 stations and fuel up while the others are coming and going. So it should just speed things up ever so slightly. Kind of. How has it affected our oh, it has. We've dropped down to just over 1,000 tons of coal. That does affect our rating. So if there's coal waiting, it means our local rating drops. So we want to try and get that back up to 60s and 70s. So we need to have a train here at all times to gather it all up at once and make it just a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother, keep more coal coming out through the different options. Have we all our trains out of the depot? We have, and still not another one coming for ages. Okay, we're going to let that go because it's just printing money for us. Look, we've spent 300,000 on new trains, and we still have 300,000 in the bank. Excellent. It's time to go to our main challenge, which is Nindwood. Let us put in a train station. And because we're going to build this into our capital city, we're going to build the station for the town we want to build, not the town we have at the moment. Passengers and mail, that's great. We're going to just leave that there, and we're going to run a train line through it. Just going to build that little station. We're going to make our city the way we want to make our city. So that'll just go out like that, and out like that. It's just like there's no fear of our city growing to the point where we're going to need this. But we're going to build a few roads, just create the kind of little town that we want to build. That's not going to work. Oh, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to put a road under. We'll put a little tunnel in. Yeah, that's a bit nicer. A bit more attractive as well. And we get to see our train line just function that a little bit easier also. We'll do the same over here. We'll put a little tunnel under the road. Road under the rail line. And we can just build these here. Create space for that town to grow out into itself. So now Nindwood is starting to develop. Just a little bit of space. Now, that's so much more improved than better than what we had before. We'll just make a few little extra spots. We'll just grow the town out in terms of space out to where our headquarters are, and just out to the river. There we go. Now we will come back to that in just a little while. Those spaces, it means that everybody's on the road, everybody gets a chance to build close to the road, or to be close to the road. And I'm going to take out this little lump here, just a little hill, just to make it nice and tidy. There we go. No, that's the wrong option. I want to go here. Perfect. So we have our hill kind of taken out. We also have our city ready to develop on the banks of the river here, just on the foothills of these mountains. So Nindwood is started. 68, we need passengers. And so how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to grow by adding a train, and we're going to bring it the whole way from Prunfing Bridge. And we're going to get it as close to the city centre as we can. It's going to be a terminal, so we're not worried about getting dual in and out. That's not a bad spot. So we're going to have it there. We're going to bring it, for the time being, we're going to bring it just close to these cities. We want it also to come through Genford Wood. And again, that's going to be a terminal. So we're going to build it as close to the city centre name as we can, which is around here. So I actually think this is probably the best place for it. Well, maybe here. We could demolish this one house, but I don't like doing that. So if we built it here, we don't really have to demolish anything, and we can build that road around it. So let's put it there for the time being. We're going to build our train tracks out. We'll also build our road. So if we go to road, and we're going to build this little cityscape around it. Put it out there. We're going to leave some lovely property out here. We might as well join up the towns just because we're going to feel nice and charitable today. We're going to also build a bridge so that we can get over it. There. So now we have a nice little location and space for it to grow. Ideally, you'd like it to be kind of more around you, but for the time being, we're going to build it and hope it just grows out around the city here. So we want to join these together without, if possible, going over that hill. Although I think we don't really have much of a choice. We might have to, unless we could get through here. But that's kind of way out of our way. So well, look at our 2 points. But the population is there, so we really don't have a choice. We're going to try and build a tunnel through. And now that we have a load of money, we've nearly $1 million in the bank, we might be able to get away with building a tunnel through the hill. Let's see. That's the level we want to be at. So if we get to say here, zoom out, that tunnel will go in here. Now the cost of that tunnel, 55,000 euros. Chump change to us at the moment. It's not really. It's a lot of money, but we are in a position where we are generating that kind of money on a regular basis. So let's take a gamble and put in something along here. I think, which level are we at? We're at this level here. So we want to, yeah, that's the same level. So it's here with the little indent. So we want to put it here, or here, or here. Let's put in 2, because we're going to need one in each direction. So we're going to put 1 there. That's 55,000, and 1 there for another 55,000. It's 110,000 on 2 tunnels. That's a lot of chump change. Okay, we're happy enough. We now have a route through the mountain that's not going to slow us down, which is phenomenal. What did I do here? I made a little boo-boo. Not to worry, not to worry. We are okay. We will just take one little corner off that hill, and we can finish it out. Okay, so we now have this route from Nindwood through to here. We want to join it up with our. So we're going to bring it this side of the town. And actually, I'm going to behave myself, because these towns can't really grow when you use the crooked. When you use the slanted, so like when on the screen it looks horizontal or vertical. If you have it that way or that way, they can't work around it. They can't really build through it. So just to stop people building level crosses, we're going to build a couple of more. There we go. Another bridge. Should just slow down there. We don't want them building level crossings through our. We really don't want that at all. It just slows everything down. Good. Come down off that level, and then we're on the right level, and we can just match up here. So we're pretty even here. So let's go to the corner and along there. Perfect. And if we bring it there, we can just tidy it nicely up like that. Okay, so now we have 2 train stations that are actually perfect. So we want to just branch these off so that they can get from one into the other, so that the upline can also match in with the downline. Let's send them back, and we have, oh, we've used the wrong one again. I keep doing that. When you hold the control button down, it does get rid of everything, which is quite handy. There we go. And so now that station is set up the way we want it. How we fixed over here, we need to join up the dots here. We want our 2-way paths that way, and then our 1-way paths. I think they are here, but we're going to move them a little bit closer to that junction and put them, make sure they're in the right directions. Yep, all good to go. So that is in a much better position than we were a few minutes ago. Let's start with our passengers from here, sending them back, because we want to, we want to basically bring passengers from the big cities to the small towns. Now, in reality, there's a good chance, there's a very good chance that there would be zero interest in going to Nindwood if you lived in that bigger town. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for our purposes, I've done the same thing again. That's very, very silly. Oh, I just got it nicely in time. Let's go back to passenger carriages. We're going to build, and then we're going to put 1 mail van on the end. Perfect. So now when it fills up with passengers, it will bring us all those people over here, and Nindwood is not going to need a lot of passengers or a lot of mail to start growing, because look how small. 0 passengers, 0 mail, max 1, max 0. So if we drop a load of people into town, it's going to nicely fill up, and hopefully that will result in people wanting to go the opposite way as well. Okay, so now we're going to go to Pruffing Bridge, which is the other big town in our region, and we're going to work out a route. We're all on the flat, which is great. We're going to come down by the side. So this is we're going to come down by the side here. Okay, that's worked out quite nicely. I just looked down and we've got over 1.4 million in the bank. Haven't just finished our first proper route, so that's quite nice. So let's just so we're going to keep these quite close to the other towns in the region, because we are going to join them up eventually. All of these towns will be joined up eventually, and this is going to be a kind of the start of a network, and we'll be expanding this line through our new capital city, which is obviously Nindwood, and it's going to hopefully become a real stopping point on the not there. Like, I suppose it still hasn't even grown by a single person. That's not great. We want to send that back and send that the whole way back as well. Our 2-way passing is fine. So now I'm happy with how this works on this end. Nindwood, how are we fixed for a train? Has it started coming at 57%? We're not quite there yet. Actually, we're going to keep an eye on this train. So if I just, because we want to make sure we have the two trains working side by side and building up that capacity to bring people to our little neck of the woods. So we're just going to get rid of these trains for a second. We're going to join up our two tracks so that they can switch between one and the other. Oh, so that's now heading for Nindwood. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually clone the train and put in another version, because we want to keep those passengers, just keep them nicely ticking over and rolling into our station. Okay, we're going to do the same here. We're going to create more passengers and just send them our way. And here we want that as an up and that as a down. And then where they kind of come close together, we're just going to remove those ones. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to create a depot. We'll put it there. I'm going to try something a little bit. No, I'm not. I'm going to behave myself. New vehicles, Jubilee, passenger carriage, and a mail carriage. And we want it to go here full length. Now let's just, before we do this, let's go ahead and see how we get on here. 35%, that's nice. £7,000, but it's going to go back empty. I just know it's going to go back empty because that's just the way these work. The passengers should be up massively once this clicks over to next month. So let's just keep an eye on Nindwood there as well, while this one is nicely ticking along. And we're going to put in two trains. We know we're going to need two trains because that's going to fill up and it's going to go. So let's have two trains on that route as well. So we'll keep an eye on Nindwood over here. Maybe we grow, maybe we don't, but we will start to grow very, very soon, which is exciting. Okay, yeah, two trains should be enough on this. We don't need any more than that, but it will just grow nicely. Our ratings very high for both, and we will fill trains and we will send them to Nindwood. Now we're just going to cross over into the 1st of September. And we had one passenger last month. And I know that sounds ridiculously small. If we go here, we'll have one passenger on the train. No, we won't. We don't even have one passenger that actually got on the train. But that was the first person at the train station. So there might be somebody waiting, one passenger waiting. But you know what? It's a start. It's an absolute start. And we will find that as we go more and more and more, we're going to find there's a train on the way back there. So we're going to find that it's going to grow and grow through the next couple of weeks and months. Pumping Bridge has dropped. That's probably because we've put them all on the train to the middle of nowhere. Everyone's like, why do we want to go there? But we are going to work this nicely. Okay, Nindwood, we're up and running. We have a train service, express train service, that is full load at the two big towns and then bringing them to our small, tiny little town. And we'll see how that gets on over the next couple of weeks and months. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to join all of these towns up with the local towns. We're going to put in a bus service, a bus route between our town and all of these other towns. So let's join the dots when it comes to the road networks around the area, and we can build a nice road network the whole way, and then put in a little, not necessarily a little, but put in a bus network to these small towns and keep them sending people to us. We've actually gone up from mail, has now gone to 2 out of 4 max, passengers 1 out of 2 max. Town is not growing, but we're going to get there slowly but surely. Look at this, 2 trains arriving at the same time, going to drop off a load of people. And hopefully, that seemed very small in terms of the numbers. But anyway, we are where we are. So, okay, so the town is continuing to develop. Perfect. Let's forget about that for a moment or two. We're going to build a nice little route here that we can send buses in that are going to come back and help us in the medium to long term. Here as well, we also want a spot where we can send buses to that's going to come back. So we're going to put a bus station maybe just here. maybe even here. Okay, we'll put a bus station here. Oh, we're not let put it into Brentford. Why is that? Local authority. They think we're appalling. That's not good. What about over here? Frondwood. They think we're mediocre. They'll probably let us build a bus service. Let's see, I want to put it here. In fact, I think we can actually... Yeah, no, we'll put it over here. So there's our first bus route. We're going to build a bus route as part of the station here. And they won't let us build either. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's try it here. No. They must think we're mediocre too. What? We've sent so many people their way. Appalling. That's not good. Okay, build statue. We're going to build a statue in honor of the company. We're going to make it Nindwood. That normally does help build a better center and a better region. And it does normally help create a bit more profile in the town. But we've done so much work and so much development, and now they won't let us build a little bus shelter. That is annoying. There is one trick we can do, but I loathe to do it, but I think it might be necessary, and that is to build some trees. So the trick to this game is when they won't let you build anything, you just start building trees. So if you build trees, they come back and say, oh, but he's great, he's built a load of trees. So let's spend a little bit of money building trees, and then we'll try and build another bus center, bus depot. No, we didn't build enough trees. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Can't really build more trees than this. Pretty much every single spot in the town has now got trees on it. It does look lovely. It will allow them to build on it. There we go. I really didn't want to have to do that, but it is what it is. Okay, we're going to start off with just a little road depot here. And we're going to put it over here on this side of the town. And we're going to build a couple of buses. So we're going to maybe make 3 buses. So a Regal bus, we're going to put it in here and here, and we're just going to let it go. But before we do that, we're going to do a little timetable, autofill the timetable and stop, and we'll watch that grow, and we'll just be able to see. It's kind of gone the wrong way for where I would like it to have gone. It's going to have to go the whole way around again. Not to worry. We can create a little timetable and schedule a couple of buses for it, and that way it will just allow us. Let's say this is Nindwood to Frondwood. So it's just a bus route, Nindwood to Frondwood, so we can see where our buses are going. Our town is still not growing. I would have thought we would have grown a little bit by now, but just not quite happening. This challenge is actually pretty hard. I think it's going to be, I didn't think it would be this difficult just to grow a couple of towns. I'm going to just try a sneaky fund new buildings, but I'm not sure if that's going to make any difference. So let's give it a crack and see how we get on. Okay, and hopefully it generates a bit of money and a bit of interest and a bit of whatever might come out of that. Okay, let's look back at our timetable here. It's 23 days it's taken us to drive from one to the other. There are 10 passengers waiting here. I'm guessing at Nindwood we don't have any passengers at all. We're going to have to work on that, but I think a regular scheduled timetable bus might make a huge difference for that. We're going to build a little road network in here. Even though there's nobody in the town, I think it will attract people. It's like Kevin Costner in the Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. So we want to try and encourage people to get on board. Now we're going to slow this down a little bit. We're going to make this a 25-day. This one is also going to be a 25-day duration for travel, but we know it only takes about 18. But if we make it wait at a station for 5 days, it means that every 30 days it will be leaving each of the stations. So if we put 4 bus routes on this, or 5 maybe buses on this, it will be on the 60-day cycle, it will be a bus leaving each stop every 12 days. Now, in real terms, there's going to be very little traffic on this at the start, but I think we will grow it. So we want 4 more buses. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to send this back once it kind of gets back to its city. Are there any passengers for it to pick up here? Probably not. But it will take that time and drop itself back to where it needs to get to. So it won't leave until it's now timetable to go, which is every 60 days. So if we go in here and look at timetable, it's running on time. But what we're going to do is we're going to release these buses. We're going to create a start date of the timetable. So start date of today, and set them all off. So they all will now be operating on the exact same. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Close that. If we go to one of these, you'll find that they're all on the exact same timetable. All have 5 days to get there, 25 days to get to the other station. They stay for 5 days. Because we know it doesn't take that long to do this, they will all catch up on their days. So if we open them all up, for example, you'll see that each of them are probably a number of days behind. That's 36 days late. This one is 26 days late. Here we are 15 days late. So they're all running a little bit later than they would probably like. But what ends up happening is they all catch up. So that's 7 days late. This one will probably catch up before the others catch up. So when this gets to Nindwood Central, we'll just keep an eye on it and how long it takes. And because it will get there ahead of 25 days and then have 5 days to catch up, it could be down to 1 or 2 days late, or even if things go really well, it could actually be on time. But in terms of the greater scheme of things, we now have a bus service into and out of Nindwood, and we've lost people. How has that happened? On the plus side over here, while our population has gone down, the town is now growing every 200 days, which means we will gain people every 200 days. It's very high, but it's a start. We're actually up and running. We've had 3 passengers last month. Small acorns. I'm a little bit worried here. We've dropped like nearly 15-20% of our population from 68 down to 55. We'll work on that. We're going to get there. As you can see, they are now 2 days late, and this one is catching up as well. So they all start to catch up on their routes as they go. And we'll have it now in a few minutes that when they come through these stops, they will actually be picking up each other and each other's they'll have each other's timetables, and they'll slow down or they'll speed up, and they'll get to where they need to get to for the right time. Okay, how are we doing here? There's a couple of passengers, a couple of bags of mail. These trains are bringing in big money, but they're only bringing in the money and the passengers. They're not actually getting to turn around and bring them back out. That's a worry. But we'll wait till the end of the month, just to the end of June, and see how we get on here. But that's good money, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. Lovely. Our population still 55. It might change at the end of the month. We'll just hang on till the end of the month just to see how that goes. But we can see over here that the stations really are beginning to grow over here. We've taken our half the ball a bit here. So we've loads of passengers, loads of mail. So we might end up just running a mail train once every now and again, maybe just right through. So we'll have a mail train that goes from one to the other and back. That's actually a nice idea. We'll just try that. A new vehicle, buy vehicle, just mail. And we're going to go from here, full load. We're going to drop the mail off here. We're going to go again, full load, and then just drop the mail off here. We pick up whatever's there, but we're not too fussed. What have I done? What have I done? I shouldn't have done that. We want to go. I can delete there. So now so our route is Brunfing Bridge. We have a full load. Nindwood, we drop. Genfingworth Falls. Wow, these town names are difficult to say. That full load of all cargo. We pick up here again, and we go back to Nindwood and drop off again. So let's follow this route, and then we're going to finish the episode on that. The good news is our population has bounced back up with 68. That's higher than we had at the start. One higher, but it's what we had a couple of weeks ago, 68. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. We're still growing every 200 days. An influx of mail should make all the difference, though. And that's kind of what I'm hoping is going to happen very, very shortly. So Gendingworth Falls, we're going to be coming there and collecting all that mail very shortly. We have a full train of mail going now. Oh, wow, full train of mail. There's more letters there than we know what to do with. Everybody in the town's getting about 3 bags of mail in one. But it's fine. And this will continue to grow and start to grow a bit more. All kind of exciting in what might be ahead. Let's take a look at the town directory, because we're now no longer the smallest town on the map. Fuffingford, way down here, it's an island. It's not great, but it's the place that we are now bigger than. So all small little acorns. We're not any bigger than we started at 67. So Fuffingford have gone backwards rather than us going up. But you can see all these towns that we have to pass on the way. We will get there, but it's just going to take us a little bit of time. Train 31 coming in with all the mail. So let's see how that goes now. And what I'm a little bit worried about is this train station might not be big enough, so we might end up having to put this under a tunnel and build this station right out and build for the city we want rather than the city we have. So yeah, just over half an hour for this episode, so we might call it quits very shortly, but I just want to see this mail. This should be empty. I'm kind of hoping it's empty. No, 30 bags of mail, that's not good. It wasn't. It was supposed to unload. Let me change its orders. So this should unload all. Unload if accept. Oh, do you know what? It might not actually accept mail. It doesn't accept mail. That's changed. So it provides mail. It just doesn't accept mail. Let's see if there's any way we have of getting around that. Supplies mail. Accepts mail. No, accepts nothing. Same with the train station. It just doesn't. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing we can do about the mail. Why are we wasting mail? Listen, it is what it is. Okay, so we can keep an eye on that. It will, when that changes, it will accept the mail. And we should be in a much better position with all of that stuff. But we are where we are. Jenningworth that's gone up 100. What we wouldn't give for 100 extra people moving to our own little city at the moment. Nindwood, we're getting there slowly but surely. Town grows every 200 days. That's maybe twice a year at best, but we're going to get there. Ginwood Falls. Let's go back and take a quick look at our little money pit on the other side of the continent. 16,000 for the mail. I'll take that. Nothing wrong with that at all. While it refills and goes back and tries to sort itself out before it heads back through our capital city, Nindwood, over here to Druffing Bridge. Our buses making a small little profit. That's not really why they're there, though. They're there really just to keep the population growing up and to have the population increase. So we have a couple of ungrouped trains. These we'll sort that out in the next episode. But yeah, happy enough with where we are right now. We have built the space for Nindwood. We've started some sort of movement. Yeah, it's just going to get lower and lower. The town is growing every 143 days now, which is maybe 2 or 3 times a year. So that's going to continue to drop. This place, we have loads of passengers, loads of mail. Here, loads of passengers. We've just left with a full tank of mail. So that will continue to grow. While over here, have we still got all of our stations in good working order? That's nearly full. That's ready to wait. That's good. That is perfect. This one is replacing this one. That we had that the last time as well. Over here, again, one full one just waiting to fill in behind. Have we got... Do you know what? We're perfect. We actually... That looks great. We have a train about to leave. 2 trains filling up. It really couldn't get much better than this. So it's just nicely ticking along. We probably have 1 train too many. We might end up getting rid of 1 train. Maybe this one. We're just going to send it to the depot and sell it. We just don't need it there. It's just clogging up space and clogging up time. And it really shouldn't be taking up that much room. So when it gets into the depot, we'll just sell it off. And then we are nicely just tidied up a little bit. 1 filling up, 1 waiting behind. And we're empty. So this one actually, we're going to get rid of this one too. And we'll just let it in here into the depot and we'll sell it off. Just to keep everything running just that little bit smoother. So there we go. A little bit tidy. We could probably do 1 more, but we won't because that one is now filling up. Okay, over here, our last little station. Again, 1 almost full, 1 about to fill up behind. So very happy with how that's pairing off. We're going to come back to a bit of industry in the next episode, and we're going to look at more coal mines and more power stations and gathering up all the coal mines because that's the easy one. Once we have that done, we're going to work on getting all of our things back to Nintown, and see how we get on. We've dropped back down to 55, but we're still in the situation where the town grows every 143 days. We're going to get there. Okay, folks, we're signing off this week. I'm pausing the game. I'm going to save it as Nindwood Transport on the 19th of January 1946. Talk to you in the next episode.